All eyes are on Russia's influence on America's 2020 elections. And it's not exactly a secret.
Is Russia, as Robert Mueller alleged, attempting to influence the 2020 elections in the United States?
I'll tell you in a secret. Yes, we will definitely intervene. It's a secret, so that everybody can laugh, and so we'll go big, but don't tell anyone, please.
And election interference was the core question in the historic impeachment proceedings of Donald Trump. Did he solicit a foreign government, in this case Ukraine, to help him win the 2020 election? But while the federal government grapples with how to protect our elections this November, how much attention has been paid to Russia's influence abroad?
Russia has, through 2018, had interfered in 38 different campaigns targeting 19 different countries.
Jake Shapiro is a professor at Princeton University who studies foreign influence. He found that Russia has attempted to influence a number of countries.
There's a large number in Eastern Europe, but also a number of countries in Latin America and Africa.
What makes a country vulnerable to Russia's interference?
I think what fundamentally makes them vulnerable to Russian interference is having a highly polarized political setup where things that can be pushed on one side or the other stoke outrage and enmity on the other side. So in the United States and European countries, they're quite similar. What they did is they looked out and identified what were the pre-existing political fissures, and then they started to push on both sides of those and to create content that was designed to be very emotive, stoke outrage, and attempt to pull the two sides apart. Think about gun rights in the United States. It's a very emotional issue for people on both sides of the divide. That creates a window for foreign countries to come in and either push people apart or push on one side to motivate voters. Measuring the impact of either kind of action is extremely hard. If I see you responding to a particular piece of social media, are your views changing? Are you engaging in a particular way because you saw that piece of social media? Or did you choose to seek out that kind of content because you had a set of views that you wanted to express by reading things that made you happy and reinforced your sentiment?
Is anybody trying to interfere in Russia's political processes in response?
Not that we've observed in our work. What we have seen is a number of other countries adopting these techniques. So it started out as Russia. Iran adopted these techniques. China has long been doing them against their own population and started in the last couple years selectively using them in other places. And then in the last year, what we're seeing is some regional powers, particularly in the Middle East, start to use these techniques to try and project their political policy, their foreign policy viewpoint out into the rest of the area. So Iran, Israel, Saudi Arabia, and UAE have all been running campaigns. What I've been surprised by the most in working on this space is that we haven't seen more countries using these techniques. You know, the skill set to execute on these campaigns is not a hard one.
Though the president himself has been reluctant to acknowledge Russian interference in his own election.
This is a hoax. I call it the Russian hoax. Russia collusion delusion. It is one great hoax.
The State Department and other government agencies have acknowledged it.
I am confident that the Russians meddled in this election, as is the entire intelligence community.
And we have a pretty good idea of what that meddling looked like, but is Russia using the same tactics abroad as it did in the U.S.?
Does Russia adapt its tactics based on what country it's hoping to influence?
When any actor is trying to launch some kind of social media manipulation campaign, we see them go where the users are.
Sam Bradshaw is a researcher at Oxford studying computational propaganda, or in other words, how governments execute disinformation campaigns.
Facebook was, one of the number one platforms for the U.S. elections, but that's not necessarily the case for every other country. When we look at elections in India or in Brazil, the disinformation tended to be on WhatsApp because that's where most of the people are online and discussing politics. In the 2017 UK elections, we saw a Jeremy Corbyn bot on Tinder, and this bot would connect with people, it would talk dating a little bit, do a little bit of flirting, and then promote Corbyn. Every application can be used to push a political message.
Those bots were made by campaigners from the UK. In the U.S., lawmakers questioned why it took tech companies so long to acknowledge and denounce foreign influence on their platforms.
3 giants from the tech world grilled today on Capitol Hill.
Why has it taken Facebook 11 months to come forward and help us understand the scope of this problem?
Tech companies maintained that the threat was new territory, and they were committed to fixing it.
The abuse of our platform to attempt state-sponsored manipulation of elections is a new challenge for us.
With the 2020 election fast approaching, tech companies are working to adapt to the risks. Facebook and Instagram, for example, rolled out an initiative to label false information on both their platforms. Google invested hundreds of millions of dollars in developing algorithms that prioritize higher quality content. Twitter banned political advertising altogether. But experts say there's not one silver bullet.
It's hard to identify which accounts are fake and which accounts are real, even for the platforms themselves.
Researchers and tech executives aren't the only people noticing that Russia's tactics are spreading far beyond America's borders.
Countries are recognizing that social media can be this proxy for political power and influence. And part of this has to do with the borderless nature of the internet.
So while Russia popularized the tactics in the U.S. in the 2016 elections, experts say it's a problem governments around the world will have to deal with for years to come.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.